Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create new customer records in HubSpot from Google Forms submissions. So let's suppose I'm running a business and I'm collecting all my leads with the help of Google Forms. I want that whenever there is a new form submission, automatically a contact should be created in my HubSpot CRM. Doing this manually will consume a lot of my time, so I've completely automated this process, and to do this automation, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which requires no coding or programming skills. Here I just need to build connection between Google Forms and HubSpot. With the help of Pabbly Connect, I'm going to build this connection in such a way that whenever there is a new form submission in Google Forms, automatically I'm going to create this contact in my HubSpot. Now, if you want to learn the step-by-step process, then let me take you all to my screen. So here in this video, we are going to see how we can add the Google Form submissions lead details to my HubSpot CRM. And for this, we are going to create an automation workflow with the help of Pabbly Connect, where we are simply going to build connection between Google Forms and HubSpot. So this is the landing page of Pabbly, and you can visit this simply by typing pabbly.com in your browser. Now, before we sign in to a Pabbly account, let me quickly take you towards Pabbly community. So you can join this Pabbly community to connect with business owners, experts, and the Pabbly support team. You can share tips, ask questions, and get quick solutions to your automation challenges. You can stay updated on latest features and collaborate with thousands of users who help and support each other every day. Now, if you want to learn how you can join this community, then please check out the link given in the description. Let's move back towards Pabbly. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to a Pabbly account. On the top right corner, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, click on the sign in, and if you are a new user, click on the sign up for free, and this will give you 100 tasks free on monthly basis. As I'm an existing user, I'll go with the sign in. And here all Pabbly apps page has appeared, which is showing me all the Pabbly applications. I'm going to click on this Pabbly Connect, access now. And here it has taken me towards this dashboard where I will be able to find all my workflows over here and all the folders which I have created over here. Now, if you want to create a new folder, simply click on this plus icon, and from here you can create a new folder. For now, I want to create a new workflow, for which I need to click on this create workflow, and I need to select my workflow builder. We have this new beta, which is modern, faster, and more flexible one, and then we have this classic, which is a stable and a familiar approach. So I'm going to select this new beta, and now I'm going to name this workflow as create customer records in HubSpot from Google Forms submission, and now I need to select my folder. So these are the folders which have been created, and I'm going to select it as forms automations and then click on create. So here workflow created successfully. As soon as I click on create, this box has appeared in front of me, which is asking me to enter the trigger application. So trigger is basically an event which starts the automation of a workflow. There can be only one trigger step in a workflow, but as many as action steps as you want. Here in this workflow, I want to add the new Google Form submission to my HubSpot CRM, which means whenever I'm going to receive a form submission in Google Forms, automatically it will be added to my HubSpot, which means whenever I'm going to receive a new form submission, this complete workflow here will get triggered, because trigger basically activates or triggers any workflow. So whenever we are going to receive a new form submission, I'm going to trigger this workflow, and then action application is going to follow this trigger application, which is after this form submission, I want to add the details to my HubSpot CRM. In my trigger application, I will be taking Google Forms, and in my action application, I will be taking HubSpot. Here in my trigger application, let me quickly take Google Forms. And in my trigger event, I'm going to take this new response received and then click on connect. Now I need to make connection between Pabbly Connect and Google Forms, for which a webhook URL is provided to me. And this webhook URL is going to act as a bridge to connect my Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So reading the help desk, I'm going to build this connection. I'm going to open my Google Forms. So this is the form which I have created. And the name of this form is contact form. I have all these fields in this form: first name, last name, name, email, phone, city and state. We have to keep in mind that we toggle on this required button of this last field on, and then I'm going to go towards the responses. Click on this view in sheets. So this sheet has opened in front of me, and over here you can see the name of the sheet is contact form. I have all the fields which I have in my Google form in this particular spreadsheet. The first name, last name, email, phone, city, state, and these are the same fields, which means my Google Forms and Google Sheets spreadsheet are connected, and whenever I'm going to receive a new form submission, I will start capturing that response in the spreadsheet. Now to check this once, I'm going to copy the respondent link of this form, paste it in a new tab, and I'm going to do a form submission here. So I'm going to fill in some dummy details, like the first name is latest, last name is user, email address is latest564@pabblytudes.com, and then the phone number is this, and then the city is Bhopal, and then the state is MP. I'm going to do this form submission, and you will see that as soon as I do this form submission, automatically the details will be captured in my spreadsheet. If I open my spreadsheet, you can see that as soon as I've done this form submission, I have captured that response here in this workflow, and this shows my Google Sheets and my Google Forms are connected. Now I'm going to send this detail from my spreadsheet to my Pabbly Connect workflow. So for that, we have to create a setup with the help of this webhook URL. To do this, I'm going to open my spreadsheet, go towards this extensions, click on this add-ons, go towards get add-ons. Here you will see Google Workspace Marketplace will appear in front of me, where I'm going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks, and it is showing installed. I have already installed this, but if you are doing this for the first time, please make sure that you follow the same process. After that you install this, it will start appearing over here, and from here you have to go towards the initial setup, and then this box will appear in front of you. Now here I need to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column. So if I go back to my workflow over here, this is the webhook URL which I'm going to first copy and paste it over here in this field, and then I have this trigger column. So it is written the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that data will be sent to the webhook URL. So here my final data entry column or the end column is column G, which means whenever I'm going to add the data in this particular column, the complete show data will be sent to my Pabbly Connect workflow. Here trigger column simply means the final data entry column or the end column or the last column. I have entered the trigger column as column G, and then I'm going to click on the send test. You will see the test data sent successfully, and now to create the setup I'm going to click on this submit, and you will see setup configured successfully. So here as soon as I have done this form submission, I have captured that detail in spreadsheet, and from the spreadsheet I have sent that to my Pabbly Connect workflow. But before that, we have to keep in mind that from this extensions we have to go towards this Pabbly Connect webhooks and then click on the send on event. This step will make sure whatever data we receive in future, whatever form submission we receive in the spreadsheet, it is sent to Pabbly Connect. If you forget to turn on the send on event, your data will not be sent from the spreadsheet to your workflow. I'm going to open my workflow and check whether I have received the response or not, and here it is. Just 2 seconds ago we have received this response. Trigger column was G, state was MP, spreadsheet name was contact form, and then the rest of the details like the phone number, first name, last name, email address, city. So here as soon as I've done the form submission, I have captured that details here. From here I've sent this to my workflow. So this shows the connection setup is completely working fine. And now moving on towards the next step, whenever I receive a new form submission, I want to add that to my HubSpot CRM. So in my action application, I will be taking HubSpot, and in my action event, I'm going to select it as create a contact and then click on connect. If you have an existing connection, go with save. If you don't have one, click on this add new connection, then click on this connect with HubSpot CRM. Here you have to choose your account, and after choosing that account, you have to grant away the permissions. You can see connection created successfully. HubSpot is connected to Pabbly Connect, and now I have to enter all these details. So over here, I'm not going to enter any of these details manually. Instead, I'm going to use a method called mapping, which means I'm going to enter the data from the previous response. I have received the response from this Google Forms, and when I click on this field, I can see this Google Forms. When I click on this, I can see all the response which I have received from there. I'm going to first enter the city, which was Bhopal. Now these details like the close date, company size, company name, company size, country, region, I have not received the response for these fields, so I'm going to skip this. But if you have received the response for these fields from your form submission, you can map this following the same process. Please do not enter any of these details manually. Now in the region, I'm going to enter the state, and I have also received the response for the email address, which was latest564@pabblytudes.com. I'm going to enter the first name as latest, and then I'm going to enter the mobile number, which was this one. I'm going to enter the same mobile number in this phone number field. I'm going to enter the last name, which was user. So here I have mapped all the details which I have captured from my Google Forms, and over here mapping is important so that every time you receive a new response, it is taken into consideration in this field. Manually entering the data will make this field static and the information will not change even if you have received the new response. Over here, if I manually enter any detail, this field will become static, and every time I receive a new response, the result will not change. So as to keep this field dynamic, we use this process mapping instead of manually entering the details. So here I have entered all the required details, all the details which I have captured from the form submission. Here are these fields like the original traffic source, buying role, status. Then I'm going to select the status as active. I've skipped this original traffic source and buying role. I'm not going to fill in these details. I'm going to keep it as default. I just want to transfer the lead details from my Google Forms to my HubSpot CRM. So that's why I've left these fields which are not required one. In the customer agent lead, email address, quarantine reason, I'm going to keep the default values in all the fields. Inferred language code, I'm going to select it as English. Then the journey stage, I'm going to select it as new contact. The preferred language is English again. Then I'm going to select the lead status as new. And then I'm going to leave the rest of the fields which are not required one. So after adding all the required details, I'm simply going to click on Save and Send Test Request. Let's wait for the response. So here I have received the response. This response is a positive one. I have received the ID of the contact. Now let's open my HubSpot CRM and check whether this latest user has been created as my contact or not. On the left hand side where I can see all these options, I'm going to go towards the CRM and then click on this contacts. Let's open this. And here we have successfully created this latest user. The email address was latest564@pabblytudes.com. The phone number was this. The lead cycle, the lead status was new, and then the rest of the details. Here we have added the date and timing, the contact details of this lead. We have successfully created this lead. So now to summarize, we took Google Forms as a trigger application where we made connection with Pabbly Connect. We received the new form submission. As soon as we do this, we wanted to add the form submission, which means the lead details, to my HubSpot CRM. So I took HubSpot as my action application, made connection with Pabbly Connect, entered all the required details, executed this workflow, and then finally created this lead in my HubSpot CRM. So this is how this automation workflow is going to run, and here we have successfully created automation between Google Forms and HubSpot with the help of Pabbly Connect. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate many more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any query, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can visit the website given over here. Also, if you find our videos helpful, do share it with your friends and like and subscribe to our channel.